Aloha, everyone. Awi nala. Good afternoon. While we're waiting for everyone to get in and get ready for some Hawaiian dance, some stretching, and some movement, now's a good time to grab a cup of water or something hydrating. Also, if you're not wearing comfortable clothing, now's a good time to put on something comfy. Maybe that's leggings, some yoga gear, or a t-shirt, even a pair of shorts. Really, anything that you can move in is just perfect. My name is Malia, and I'm a community healer here at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join me here every Friday here at the Her Wellness Institute. We are celebrating Wellness Fridays, kicking off the weekend with wellness, self-care, and focusing on ways that we can integrate these aspects of our mental health into our daily lives. I'm absolutely honored to be here today to share my ancestral teachings with you, which is Hawaiian dance. For those of you who are new to the video, I want to let you know that Hawaiian dance and spirituality is very strongly interlinked. Without our spirituality, without our sacred words, which began somewhere around 500 AD, hula would not exist. Hula's gone through lots of transformations, just as our culture and our societies have gone through lots of transformations. There's many different types of hula. There's many different styles of hula. There's lots of reasons that we dance hula. And the way that we're going to focus on today is hula as movement. Hula as a way to tap into our mana, or the universal energy that's inherent in all things, that begins at the center of the universe and it radiates out infinitely. A great way to tap into that energy is through our feet, through our movements from the connection to the earth. So today I am here at the Her Wellness Institute. We are in our beautiful meditation and dance room. Again, get yourself something to drink. We're going to start with stretching. I need something to drink right now. We're going to start with some stretching. Um, we will take a break after our stretch, then we'll get into some basic hula motions. And what I mean by that is really Hawaiian dance, and particularly our halau or our hula school, we have about 16 to 20 foot motions that we always use. And in hula, we use combinations of these steps in our footwork, in our knee and hips and leg work. We add the story with the hands, talking about things like rolling water, picking flowers, the fragrance, the winds, the sun or the moon, the skies and the heavens. And we use our hands to express what the story is. Well, today we're not going to focus too much on the story. We're going to focus more on that earth connection. You don't have to have any dance experience whatsoever. We always say in hula schools that when we enter a hula school, we leave our shame at the door. And what that means is there's no ego, there's no competition. There's no shame as far as like, oh, I'm not doing this right, I'm doing this the wrong way. We dance hula to tap into that energy as a humble person. And the more that we can stay humble, the more that we can just strive to move and strive to understand, the more healing hula is for us. It's meditative in a way. So what I'm going to do is I recommend that if you're at home that you remove your socks, definitely remove your shoes. That's like a requirement. The only time I would say that you can keep your shoes on for hula is if you have like conditions in your feet that like require you to have structures of a shoe or something like that. Generally, we want our feet bare. I am going to wear socks today because I'm practicing to be as safe as I can here at the Her Wellness Institute. I'm going to cover my feet just for like, just being considerate of what's going on around us and what's going on today in our communities. My hands are washed, so I got that. No mask yet, but that'll begin next week, I believe. All right, relatives, I'm going to start the music. We can get into our deep breathing. Hopefully, these socks, I'm not tripping too much. And let's get going. If at any point in time you have questions, feel free to ask. They're welcome. You're welcome to ask as many questions as you like. Aloha, Bree. Aloha, Sister Heather. Good to see you. Wonderful to see you all. What I will say is if you have questions, ask. We'll get to them during the break. My other thing that I wanted to mention is that if you need to sit down for any reason, if you're feeling like maybe you're getting lightheaded or you're really tired or your body's just telling you no, listen to your body, honor and respect that. If you're feeling that these motions are too difficult for the legs or the feet, go ahead and take a seat. Just do the hand motions or just move your hips in place. If you feel like the hands are too much for you, then just go ahead and focus on the feet. Really, you can just do whatever feels right for you. And remember, if you're not feeling great, sit down, breathe through it, and you can observe or get back up when you're ready again. All right, relatives. I'll check in with everybody after our stretch and we take a break. But for now, let's get some blood moving. All right, we're going to go ahead and start by lifting our arms up. And we're just going to stretch. We're going to bend those knees, reaching down. The arms are behind us. Up, straightening those legs. Rising up again. I'm going to go to the side just so you can see my motions. And last one, taking it down and up. We're going to go ahead and take those feet a little bit wider. We're going to reach in front of us. You can even clasp those fingers together if you like. And from the side, you can see that I'm keeping my back straight. My knees are slightly bent. Two more. Last one. Let's go ahead and now we're going to reach towards the floor. Slight bend in those knees. Again, back straight. Reaching as low as you like. Modifying how you need to. Take it as slow. Two more. Last one. Now we're going to combo. We're going to take it to the center. Reaching out. Taking it down. Reach out. Keep that core tight and that chest open. And out. And down. And down. Last set. Hold it there low. We're going to go ahead and pulse. Keep that back straight, that chest open, the core tight. So we're going to go ahead, bring our hands up from side to side. Let's go ahead, grab those ankles. Pulsing low, chest open. One hand on top of the other. We're going to bend low, reach up tall. Taking it down, up tall. Breathing through it, guys. How you feeling, relatives? Couple more. And last one, let's go ahead and reach through those ankles for 4, 3, 2, hands just above the knees, slowly bending, rising up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to bring our hands up and bring one arm over. Reach. The stretch that we're doing, this is a Hawaiian Dance. This is our pre-warm-up. This stretch is actually a bar stretch that has been taught by Lottie Burke. She's over 90 years old. You'll see this warm up in a lot of bar classes, which uses a combination of ballet, yoga, and Pilates. Don't worry, relatives. We'll get to that traditional hula in just a moment. Both arms up, and other side. And bend and reach. Bend and reach. Keep going. Bend and reach. Bend and reach. Couple more. Thanks, Bree. I appreciate that. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Be safe. Two more. Last one. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my leggings here. Both hands up, bending the arms. Side to center. Side to center. Really focusing on stretching those obliques. Alright, let's go ahead and we're going to trace the silhouette. Soft bend in the knees. Side to center. Focusing on that side bend. And a couple more on each side. And last one. We're going to go ahead and bring the feet in closer together, shoulder width. Reaching out with one hand behind. And reach. Reach. You know, these gentle movements actually feel really good. Since we've been practicing staying at home more often, I found that I move less, so I get tired more easily. Let's do one more. We're going to switch to the other side. Here we go. Following the gaze to the hand, leading with the pinky as we move behind. Reach. And reach. Reach. Let's do two more. And last one. Now we're going to crisscross the arms. Bring it up and behind your body, like you're taking off a giant sweater. Crisscross those arms, bring it up and behind the body. Crisscross, up. Two more. And last one. Let's go ahead and open those fingertips, pushing behind, palms behind you. Push, 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 push. 4, 3, 2. Pushing the palms up, closing those fingers for 4, 3, 2. Let's go ahead and roll forward, small fists here. We're really warming up every part of our body right now, every muscle. Circling back for 4, 3, 2. Let's go ahead and box those ears by bringing the hands in the front. Push, push, push. For 4, 3, and 2. Clasping those hands together, reaching straight up and behind. Arms straight. Bringing the hand behind the head. Woo. Breathing through it, guys. Let's go ahead and bend those elbows. Straight up and bend. From the side, you can see. Up and bend. For 4, 3, 2. Last one. We're going to drop those arms, rolling those shoulders forward and back. Bringing those palms front, bringing the palms out. Rolling those shoulders forward and back. Like some swan arms. Alright, let's go ahead and warm up those triceps. We're going to grab the forearms like you're rolling up the sleeves, pushing up those sleeves and flexing those chest muscles. We're working on warming up the pecs. Alright, let's roll those shoulders. Roll them back. Roll them back. Roll for 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to put those hands on the shoulders. Bring those elbows behind. For 4, 3, 2. Let's go ahead and stretch the neck from side to center. Side to center. We're going to gently double tap that ear towards the shoulder. Woo. Breathing through it. One more on each side. Let's go ahead and roll that chin from shoulder to shoulder, keeping it in the front. Roll and keep it in the front. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead and look down gently towards the floor and up towards the ceiling. Stretching the neck, looking down gently, and up. Let's go ahead. Stretch out that forearm, bringing the hand directly out in front of us, pushing down on those fingertips. You're going to feel a stretch in the wrist and the forearm. If you don't like the way that feels, you can just roll out your wrist. Go ahead, bring that hand out in front. Bringing the arms out, one arm across. It feels good to move. Thanks for moving with us today, relatives. Feels really good. I'm actually hot. The AC is good in here, but I'm actually warm. Let's go ahead and stretch out the tricep. One hand over the other, pushing down on that elbow. And other side. Making sure you continue to breathe. Keep that core nice and tight. Let's stretch out each fingertip. Ooh, I cracked a knuckle there. Nice gentle stretch. Nice gentle stretch. Hula is a lot about the hands. All right, let's go ahead and get into a deeper thigh stretch. We're going to step out to one side wide, the other side wide. We're going to go ahead and reach forward, keeping our back straight. If you see me from the side, I'm just going to keep my back straight. I'm going to touch the floor. If you need to modify by bending your knees, you can do that, keeping that back straight. I'm going to face you to the front, stretching those hamstrings. We're going to go ahead, turn one of our feet. We're going to face to the side, turn that foot outwards. And we're going to go ahead, keep that back leg straight. The front leg is bent a little bit. We're going to reach up and straighten that leg in the front and up, bending that back knee and straighten, coming back to the center, holding it there, reaching to the other side. That front knee is slightly bent, straighten the leg as you lift, and bring it down. Up one more time, lift, and bring it down, coming back to the center. All right, bending those knees, scooting in as we slowly rise up. Let's go ahead and stretch the quads. We're going to grab one ankle. You might need to grab a chair or lean against the wall or a counter. Stretching this muscle here, our quads. In hula, we use our hips a lot. We use our hips a lot, our knees a lot, our feet, our quads, our calves. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. And let's go ahead and take it into an ankle stretch, putting those toes, the sole of the foot is up towards the ceiling, the toes, the knuckles of the toes are on the floor, stretching that ankle. Let's switch it to the other side, stepping the other way or stepping back. You might hear your toes crack. All right, we're going to finish by keeping our feet wide. This might feel a little bit silly, but we're just going to circle the hips around. So the hips are going to move in a complete circle. The knees are slightly bent. And this is a really great way to loosen up the hips because you know what? Hula is all about the hips. If you don't use your hips in hula, it's really not hula. You have to be able to engage that part of your body. All right, we're going to scoot the feet in a little bit more. And knees bent, we're going to circle the hips around. Let's do 4 more, 3 more. See how the upper body, for the most part, is staying still? All right, we're going to hold it on one side. Now we're going to reverse the motion. If you were going clockwise before, now you're going to go counterclockwise. If you're going clockwise before, now reverse it. All right, we're going to scooch in one more time, toes in, heels in. So now we're in a slight V. We're going to bend those knees. I'll stand to the side so you can see the motion of my hips. My knees are bent. My hips are making circles all the way around. But notice how the upper body stays still. The heels of the feet stay on the ground. So I'm just circling big circles with my hips. I'll face front so you can see me. See, if I were behind a countertop, you wouldn't be able to tell that my hips were moving. The upper body in hula has to stay very still here. Let's reverse the opposite way. So whatever way you're going before, keep the knee bent, the hips and shoulders squared, the chest open, heels on the floor. Keep those heels on the floor. And let's go ahead. You can see me from the side. See how the heels stay on the floor, making complete circles with the hips. For 4, 3, 2, and let's go ahead, rest it out. How'd that feel, relatives? Hopefully that felt good. For some of us, it might feel a little strange because we're not so used to engaging our hips in that way very often. So if you feel like you're a little bit stiff in the hips, that's okay. One of the things I could recommend though is that circular motion that we were doing with our hips. If you feel like your hips were stiff, I definitely have a lot of relatives, elder relatives that I work with, and when they consistently do these hip motions, it actually really does help. So I can just say those hip motions, they really can help keep you grounded. They can connect you to the land space, and they can really help if you're feeling tight in the hips or the hip flexors. All right, I do want to take a quick water break here and also a check-in. I want to see how everyone's doing today. How are your relatives? I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing great today. It's Aloha Friday. I'll give a moment for you to respond if you want to type how you're feeling in the comments section. I want to say that hula, no matter how I'm feeling, when I'm done dancing hula, I always feel better than I started. Every single time. Okay, for our relatives out there, if you're not doing okay, please do reach out to someone that you trust, someone that you can talk to. Maybe that's a family member or a friend. Maybe it's a coworker that you really trust. And for those of our relatives out there who need extra help or support, please do call our CARES Warm line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can call or you can text. You'll be contacted and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. You'll be connected to one of our CARES counselors. Our CARES counselors are passionate about walking along with you on your path and journey of self-care and wellness. They can hold space for you. You will be heard. You will be respected. Aloha, Sheldon. Greetings all the way out there to Vancouver. Thanks for saying hello, Sheldon. So you will be heard. You will be respected. We can provide that emotional support for you. You can talk about what's on your mind, judgment-free, stigma-free. And not only can our CARES counselors provide you with emotional support, they can also connect you to resources that may be helpful to you. So relatives, self-care and wellness, it's a very, very important way to practice healing and integrate that into our daily lives. Sometimes wellness and self-care looks like dancing and movement. Sometimes it looks like nutrition. Sometimes it looks like letting go of the things that no longer serve us. And sometimes it looks like being able to lean into others when we need it, when we need that support. That also shows our strength and resilience, is to recognize when we need to talk to someone. There's lots of ways to self-care, relatives. I'm glad hula is one of those ways. All right, so I'm going to go ahead into some basic foot motions. Again, don't worry about how you look. Just worry about the feeling and the movement. Jamie says she's busy today, but feeling really, really good. Awesome, Jamie. I love to hear it. Love to hear it. Glad you're doing well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about our setup. Okay. So we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width distance apart. Feet are flat, toes are slightly outward, heels are slightly closer in. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to start by swaying from side to side. As you keep those knees bent and sway towards the left side or the right side, the direction that you're swaying, that knee is going to straighten. So if you're swaying towards the right knee straightens. If you're swaying towards the left knee straightens. We can bring the hands up and sway from side to side, keeping those elbows straight if you want to bring those hands up. Make sure the thumbs are tucked, the fingers are displayed, nice and soft, shoulders are relaxed for 4, and 3, and 2, and last 1. We're going to go ahead, bring one foot out, weights on the back foot, bring it in. One foot out, bring it in. Out and in. Keep that chest open, the wrists straight, the shoulders straight. Hips and shoulders are square to the wall in front of you. 4, and 3, and 2. Bring that foot flat out in front. Okay, let's go ahead. Keep those hand motions, or the feet motions. As we bring the hands up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, to the chest. Here we go. Bring the palms up, 2, 3, 4, and back. 2. So the feet are staying the same. The feet are just coming out in the front. The weight's always on the back foot. We're not extending to where the head has to bounce like this, just bringing the foot gently flat in front. Because the knees are bent, the hips are going to sway from side to side. For 4, and 3, and 2, and last one. Bring the hands down. Keep the feet going. Push up, 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 and palms down. 2, 3, 4, and push. 2, 3, 4, and palms. 2, 3, hold it there for 4, and 3, and 2. Keep those elbows and wrists straight. Last one. Let's go back to the sway. Sway. As we sway to the left, we straighten the left knee. And as we sway to the right, we straighten the right knee. From the side, you can see straightening one knee, straightening the other. The chest is open. Swaying from side to side. For 4, and 3, and 2, and last one. All right, let's go ahead and shake it out. All right, so that move that we just learned was called the hula, okay? Hula, very, very common Hawaiian move. Let's go to our ami. Ami, feet about shoulder width distance apart, heels close together, toes pointed out. Knees are bent the whole time, and we're swaying the abdomen completely around in a smooth circle. I'll let you see from the side. You can see my head circulating. It's a very, very common move in hula. One of the most foundational moves of hula. Notice how the upper body is still. I'm not moving like this. That's not really how we do it in hula. Keep those heels flat on the ground and just move from the abdomen. Moving from the lower part of the body below the belly button all the way around. For 4, 3, 2, make sure those knees are bent, and let's reverse. Other side, clockwise, push, push, push. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Now let's go ahead. Keep those hands up, elbows, wrists straight, elbows up, chest open. Couple more here, then we're going to reverse. Let's reverse. Turn those hips the opposite way. For 4, 3, 2, and let's go to the hula. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left. Bring the palms down. 2, 3, 4. Weights on the back foot. The knees are bent the whole time. 3, 4. Bring it down. 2. Weights on the back foot. Knees are bent. Elbows are straight. Wrists are straight. Keep those elbows lifted. Chest open. Weights on the back foot. Those knees are bent. Foot comes out flat in front of us. Making sure the head height stays the same. You don't want to bounce like this. So don't extend the foot very far. Maybe about 6 to 10 inches in front of you. Let's bring the hands down. Palms up. 2, 3, 4. Bring the palms down. 2, 3, 4. And up. 2, 3, 4. And down. 2, 3, 4. Let's swing. Side, side. Straightening. The knees are both bent until you move towards the right. You're going to straighten the right knee. When you move to the left, you'll straighten the left knee. So alternating between bending and straightening. Again, a very common move in Polynesian dance. I'll just simply call it the sway. Another very important move we're going to do next is called the ka'olo. We're going to step to the right, step, together, step, flat feet together, knees bent the whole time. Step, together, step, Flat feet together. The knees are bent the whole time. We don't unbend at all. We don't, even when we step together, we don't stand up. Stay bent and step together, step. Flat foot, step together. See how my hips are swaying? Swaying is very important in hula. In order to dance hula, you must bend the knees. You have to bend the knees. And most of the time we keep the knees bent. The reason the knees are bending is because it keeps us closer to the earth. It keeps us humble, but also that movement, that continual flow of the movements of the hips. We must be able to engage the hips. Where our pico is, this is where our first existence, right? The connection to our mother was right here at our pico, at our belly button. This is a source of life right here. So we're very engaged in the way that we move. Close to the earth, knees bent. Make sure your hips and shoulders are squared in front of you the whole time. Step, flat foot, step, together, step, flat foot. The knees are bent. That's what makes the hips move. Let's bring the hands up to the chest. Step, together, step. Step, together, step. Okay, keep going, guys. A couple more here, relatives. For 4. And switch. And 3. Knees bent. Keep those wrists straight. Keep those elbows up, chest open. And when you move, make sure you're not turning this way. Like you don't want to do that. Just go side to side. Side. Keep those shoulders relaxed, chest open. Hips and shoulders square to the front. These are very, very important Hawaiian dance moves. You see them in many, 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 many songs, almost all of them. This move is called kaholo. Can you say kaholo? All right, let's do a couple more. Last set, right and left. Let's go ahead and sway. Straightening each leg. When you lean right, straighten the right knee. When you lean left, straighten the left knee. But as you can see from the side, alternating the knees, straightening and bending. Couple more. Let's go ahead and hula. Bring that right foot out. Weights on the back foot, knees bent. So the sway and the hula. First move we did was the sway. The move we're doing now is called hula. All very common moves. Let's go into the ami. Third move you've learned, the ami. Around the island. Make sure that upper body stays still from the waist up. And let's reverse, counterclockwise. If you look from the side, you can see how the feet are flat on the ground. The knees stay bent and you gyrate the abdomen all the way around in complete circles. Knees stay bent. Let's go ahead and hula, bringing the palms down. Up, up, up for 4, 3, 2, and let's couple low. Step right together, right and left. 2 more. And last one. Got the blood flowing there. I'm actually really warm. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Relatives, I'd like to share with you a little bit of ancestral knowledge, talk a little bit more about hula, a little bit about the wisdom that I know about my cultural teachings, and also before we go, I'll do some chanting for you. I'm going to go ahead and take a seat here onto the floor, so I'm going to bring you with me. I hope you enjoyed that, relatives. The reason that we dance hula as Hawaiians is because that was our connection to the environment. And our environment really is it's the way that we experience it and the way that we understand it is how we understand ourselves. So, for many Indigenous people, I know that when we look at the systems and cycles that exist in nature, we understand how our body interacts to these things, how our spirit interacts to these things. And so, when we dance hula, um, we're essentially manifesting that universal energy, that mana that's inherent in all things. And we're taking that energy up through our feet. We're experiencing that energy, and our body is behaving as a vessel or a catalyst by which we receive that energy from the earth, from the wind, from the sun, from the stars, from the moon, from the water. And as we express that energy with humility and with intention, that energy that we receive is healing to us. So when we honor hula, and when we dance hula, we are honoring those things. We are honoring our environment. We are honoring our place. We are honoring the humility by which we receive. And that part gives us healing. But what also happens with hula as we begin to express is that we also heal those who observe it. For our relatives out there, maybe with your cultural dances, maybe that's similar for you. And if you want to share, you're more than welcome to. This is absolutely a place about all cultures, not just Hawaiian culture. I just express Hawaiian culture because that's what I know. That's how I've been taught. But I know that every one of our Turtle Island people, every one of any color of the rainbow, from whatever your culture and your ancestral teachings are, when we take moments to really recognize what is it that our ancestors did, why did they do that, and contemplate the wisdom that they may have that we don't have that insight necessarily anymore all the time. But when we practice tradition, when we practice customs, particularly for me, when I practice hula, which is that spiritual connection, I feel very connected to my ancestors as well. We call our ancestors our kupuna, and actually as Native Hawaiians too, which is hard sometimes for like the Western thought to grasp, is that Hawaiians, we believe that we are descendants of the gods and goddesses. We are descendants of gods and goddesses. We are descendants of Akua. Akua, our ancestors that came before us. So when we think about Akua, or our gods and our goddesses, we can we can communicate with our Akua through the dancing and through the awareness and honor of our natural environment. As a matter of fact, so we feel that we are like blood descendants, right? We believe that our gods and goddesses were actually living people who had uh, innate amounts of mana, and their mana and power grew when they lived in a righteous way. And um, so that's just one of those spiritual things that I wanted to share with you for me personally. And again, whatever way that you practice connecting to spirit, connecting to the creator, connecting to the honor of your ancestors, it's very, very healing. So, where is my, oh, here it is. I make it my eat bowl. I'm going to do a chant that I don't do very often, and I'll explain the chant so that you can understand it. This chant is called E no kavika kaheke au na pua. Um, so Kavika was one of the last Hawaiian kings. He wasn't the last one. He was actually this, well, um, he was not the very last monarch, but the second to last. The last was his sister, Queen Liuokalani. So the queen really was. And these kings and queens were descended of chiefs, chiefs of the who governed the land. And so hula, in a way, is an act also of social justice. And what I mean by that is for over 150 years, Hawaiians were not allowed to speak the Hawaiian language. They were not allowed to dance hula. It was considered lewd, which is so not true at all. It was quite spiritual. Um, but the movements were very earth connected. They were very hip connected. Um, and then just even the way that the Hawaiians dressed when the Westerners came, they didn't understand their cultural ways. So um, when the Westerners came, they actually made hula illegal. They made the language illegal. They made cultural practices illegal. So when we're able to dance hula, we're actually practicing our like a social justice. It is our justice. It is our right to be able to do our cultural practices, and that's how we connect to. That's how I connect to spirit. So it's kind of a twofold benefit. But the reason I dance this hula is because, or I want to chant this hula for you. I can't dance it and chant it, so I'll just chant it with my ipu. Is because when this king came into power, King David Kavika La'amea Kalakaua, he actually he actually declared that hula was now going to be legal because it was illegal for a long time to dance hula. You would be imprisoned. Um, you, yeah, you could be just whatever. Your rights are stripped from you. So this song honors him, and in that way, um, it compares him to a flower, like this beautiful person, um, like a product of the beauty of Hawaii and the land. And they also compare him to a lightning bolt in the east. And in one of the verse, they actually talk about how he was famous in England and France, and he was famous in the United States too, even hanging out at the White House. So the monarchy of Hawaii was very progressive in a way. As a matter of fact, they had electricity before the White House did. Also, this king was, I think, the first king to reach all of the continents by boat. So, um, so they talk about that in the song, and then also they say where he came from. So it's very important. I noticed this with Turtle Island relatives too. When Turtle Island relatives are going to speak, they will oftentimes talk about who their mother is, who their father is, who their grandfather is, and they'll go down the line. Well, Native Hawaiians do that too. It's very important to know your lineage, to know your ancestors. And that could even be connected as far back to the Akua or the gods and goddesses that you may be related to. Um, and then finally, the last verse of the song talks about um, how he's the shining one, he's the bright one who cares for Hawaii. Um, and in the end, we say "Hei no kalanika vika," which means in the name of the heavenly David, the spiritually divine David, King David. So again, I'm going to chant this hula as an act of social justice, also as an act of honor for my ancestors, and to perpetuate my culture, and also to share it with you in a way of healing, in my very Hawaiian way of healing. Makuko. Ai, ia no kawika, ka heke au nā pua. Ea, ea no kawika i, ka heke au nā pua i. Ea no kawika i, ka heke au nā pua i. Ka wila maka hiki nai. Malama lama Hawaii, Kawila mahaka hikinai. Malama lama Hawaii, Hui kalono pela kani. O olohe ke kuini o kalono pelekani. Olohe ke kuini o pelani. Navai ka puai nai. Ka paake ahe na puai. Navai ka puai nai. Ka paake ahe ma puai. Aina ia mai ka puanai. Kalani ka vika hei noai. Aina ia mai ka puanai. Kalani ka vika hei noai. He ala, he ala, he ala, ya. Ah, yeah. Ino ano, kalani ka vika. So that was in honor of culture, in honor of justice, in honor of our ancestors, and in honor of our Indigenous people. Um, Before I go, I will do another chant for you. I'm gonna blow my conch shell. Let me grab it. This floor is nice and smooth, so I can just slide along onto the floor. Um, So I'm gonna blow the conch in each direction, starting with the rising and to the setting of the sun. Um, I'm gonna chant. I know Jamie, you hear me one do this, or you hear me do this one all the time. It's called Ehomai. Um, and this really is asking for wisdom and divine guidance from the Creator above. It's asking to see what we cannot see and to um, know what we need to know. So if you are interested in, like, if there's something that's sitting with you and you feel uncertain about it and you don't know the answer, it's a really good to, well, I'm going to chant this chant 3 times after I blow the conch. And I invite you to close your eyes if you like. You don't have to, but just to take some deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. So in for 4, out for 6, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And while I chant, you can use that mana that I'm harnessing for us with the intention that you're trying to get a divine answer in that stillness, in that deep breathing. Who knows, maybe you might get something. I found oftentimes that when I go out into natural places, out into my yard, out along the rivers or something, and my mind is contemplative and I'm feeling unsure, I've found answers this way. So let's go ahead. E humai kai ke mai luna mai e. Una mea huna uno e ona mele. E humai, e humai, e humai, e humai kai ke mai luna mai e. Una mea huna uno e ona mele. E humai, e humai, e humai, e humai kai ke mai luna mai e. Ona mea huna uno e ona mele. e hui, e hui, e hui. I want to say a big mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much, relatives, as we take moments to honor our cultural traditions, our customs, and our ancestry. No matter where we are from the world, no matter where our ancestors came from, no matter what color of the rainbow, we're all a beautiful piece of the diversity of this world, of this planet, of our Mother Earth, of the Creator. Malamoponoi kokino, take good care of your body. Practice moments today of wellness and self-care. Maybe it's deep breathing. Maybe it's taking a nap. Maybe it's giving yourself time to reflect or giving a friend a call and letting them know that you have something you need to talk about. Whatever it is, the beauty of it is you can decide how to choose your path in wellness, and taking those small, seemingly small steps throughout the day really can help make some big positive changes. Aloha nui. Much love to you all. The biggest love to you. May you have a weekend filled with peace, a safe weekend, a weekend where you can take moments of self-care. And ahui ho akuno. Before we see you later and say farewell and goodbye, we do have a community survey that's linked here right in the comments section. It asks just a few questions, and it really helps us to understand anonymously, relatives, how to serve you. That is our passion here at the HIR Wellness Institute. We're here for you. Please join us later this afternoon. I think it's at 3:30 p.m. We have Jamie doing reflections and recovery. These beautiful woman, beautiful posts, a beautiful spirit through and through. Jamie actually sings. She smudges. She reflects and shares with you insight, ancestral wisdom. And it's not only a place for people who need recovery, it's really a place for anyone. So do join at 3:30. Also on Saturday, we have Joe McKenzie who does Zentangle. It's mistake proof art. Join her at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And on Sunday, we have trauma informed yoga and meditation at 10 a.m. So enjoy, everyone. Check out our schedule listed here down below on the timeline. Make sure all those times are right. I'm pretty sure they are, but they have them listed right here on our HIR Wellness Institute Facebook page. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Aloha Friday, everyone. Ohuiho. Aloha.